Is that your only sermon? Decades ago, my cousin Larry and I were young preachers and would seize every opportunity to attend gospel meetings together. On one occasion, we were able to meet up on Tuesday, 2 weeks in a row, to hear Dee Bowman, who is holding back-to-back gospel meetings deep in the heart of East Texas. It just so happened that Dee preached the same sermon both times. So, being young preachers with quite literally dozens of sermons under our belts, we had to ask Dee, "Is that your only sermon?" Without missing a beat, he just smiled and said, "You boys just need to come on a different night." That was classic Dee Bowman. When many would have been offended and snapped back with a put down of two boys, he gently redirected our thinking. This past Thursday, September 9, 2021, Dee Bowman's time on earth came to an end. His decades of service to the Lord and God's people as a preacher, teacher, and encourager have been remembered and eulogized by many here on Facebook. But today's Sunday struggles on Morning Minutes in the Bible will focus on one thing and remember him for his kindness to others in an age when kindness seems so rare. Galatians 5 talks about the fruit of the Spirit and the works of the flesh. Buried in the middle of the works of the flesh are enmities, strife, jealousy, outbursts of anger, disputes, dissensions, factions. Verse 20. Many of my conservative brethren seem to get so fixated on preaching and teaching against the sexual immorality of verses 19 and drunkenness of verse 21 that they seem to forget about verse 20. Because they fail to focus on attitudinal issues, they often end up doing those deeds. Focused on disputing enemies, they often become filled with strife and jealousy. Some seem to enjoy disputing over everything and end up drowning in dissensions and ever-shrinking factions. Others are offended by such angry, argumentative attitudes and turn away from them and those who display such a spirit. Rightfully so, may I add. But if not careful, can become soft on drunkenness and sexual immorality. Dee Bowman didn't either. Instead, he was filled with love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control, verses 22 and 23. Dee Bowman's heart was filled with God's word and the fruit of the Spirit. His preaching and teaching balanced condemnation of the works of the flesh and encouragement to live out the fruits of the Spirit. If you're struggling with any of the deeds of the flesh described in Galatians 5, verses 19 through 21, but especially those in verse 19, then remember Dee and refocus on verses 22 and 23. Don't be filled with the spirit of strife and envy. If you want to defeat sin in your heart and in the hearts of others, then choose love and joy instead. Live out the fruits of the Spirit. Thank you for watching today's Sunday Struggles on Morning Minutes in the Bible. Until next time, this is James McClenny hoping you have a great day.